How are we doing, guys? Today we've got Phoebe Sinclair with us on this new episode on the podcast. How are we doing, Phoebe? You all right?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you, mate.
Good.
So, what should we start with? Tell us a little bit about you and what made you want to become a tattooist.
Well, I've always been really quite arty. I've always loved it throughout school, my life. I did it throughout school, and then I went to uni. I didn't do art.
Okay.
Well, what I did do is after the pandemic, I was like, I want to do this as a job. I want to just get the experience in the industry. So I ended up doing a job as just a receptionist in a studio, and it was from like that point that I was like, this is the job. This is what I want to do.
That's
This
what
is
you
the
wanted to
life.
do,
This is the
yeah.
industry. I mean, I would always get in tattooed in that time, and just being in the studios that I was in and getting tattooed by, I was like, I need to be here.
Yeah. It's amazing, mate, yeah.
Yeah,
I was almost the same, like when I first started. Um, I started tattooing at like 16.
yeah,
Back then it was really, really hard to get an apprenticeship.
yeah.
Um, I got promised an apprenticeship by one guy, and I went to see him when I was like 14. And he said, "Oh, come back when you're 15 with some drawings and
Yeah,
500 quid, and then I'll give you an apprenticeship." I went back the year
nice.
after, and he'd already took on someone else.
Right.
So I was absolutely gutted, absolutely gutted.
Yeah,
So what I did was I started college, and then I was doing art and design at college, and it wasn't quite what I wanted to do.
yeah.
So I ended up buying a kit offline, like these twats do these days.
We've all been there.
All been there, yeah. And I started tattooing in my kitchen at home.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. How all the greats start, eh?
Well, no, they say that.
Yeah, they do say that, yeah. So for everyone meeting you for the first time on this podcast, I know some people watching this may have met you before or been tattooed by you before.
Yeah.
What kind of style do you gravitate towards when you're tattooing? What can people expect to get tattooed by you?
I I'm one of those people I like to do, well, one of those artists that like to do almost anything. I like to turn my hand to
Yeah.
everything. But that being said, I really like black and grey sort of stipple illustrative work. I also have been recently delving into a bit of colour realism. It's hard, but I like the
Yeah.
challenge. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of fun. Anything like florally, naturey, I'm going for it. It doesn't matter whether it's black and grey, the colour. I love it. As long as it's kind of illustrative, that's kind of the vibe that I like.
And I think this is almost one of the only kind of jobs, could I say, where you almost learn on the job. Like especially when it comes to doing
Yeah.
something new and you want to push yourself. I mean, obviously customers don't want to wear that you might be
I
doing
don't.
something for the first time. You know what I mean? But you have
Yeah.
got to push yourself because otherwise you don't learn.
Well, that's the thing, and like, luckily, we're in that sort of industry where we are, and we do have that capability to do that, and we do have
Yeah.
people, old clients that are willing to donate skin, if you want to put it that way.
Oh no, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just, as long as I feel like as long as you're upfront and you're honest about the situation, and you just specify, I've not done this, or I have done it, but I don't have a whole lot of experience in it. It's just great to be able to kind of sink your teeth in it and learn a little bit more. And then that client at the end is super happy because it's not just like the piece that's finished, it's just they've seen that you've learned through that.
Yeah.
So
That's
I think
awesome,
that's the
mate.
part of the job that I always have loved, is that it's just a constant learning and a constant evolution that happens.
Yeah. And I think especially people what start I think as of well I'll say as of COVID times, a lot more people's got tattoo equipment. Um,
True, yeah.
and I think with that, some people have realised how hard it actually is to do it.
Yeah, I think there was a massive wave during the pandemic where obviously because the tattoo studios were closed, people were just doing it themselves, and I think they kind of now understand how hard it is
Yeah,
to do just a straight line. Just a straight line. It's
yeah.
impossible. Yeah.
I mean, like the influx of like cover ups since COVID, just after COVID, like the amount what's come through, what we're having to cover ups, it's unreal.
Yeah, I get loads still, like little stick and pokes, or I've had this done in my mate's kitchen. You're like,
Yeah,
oh God. They have
yeah,
but they have great stories. This is the thing. They have great stories, but
yeah.
they're not necessarily great themselves, so that's why they want them
No,
covered.
yeah. I think it is one of these age old things where one of the mates says to him, "Oh, you can draw. Why don't you do me a tattoo?" Because the
Yeah.
thing, because they can draw, they can
Hmm.
become a tattooist with like a click of the fingers.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean they do,
Yeah.
and I don't think they realise that it's completely different. It's completely different.
I think it's almost the same with these semi-permanent makeup artists at the minute. What started doing fine line tattoos,
Yeah,
really
they're
bad, aren't they? Really bad.
God, I
Yeah,
don't know what they're doing, but it's not good.
I don't know whether they're
It's
still tattooing with the semi-permanent makeup ink.
see, this is what I'm
And
thinking. They're either doing it with and the equipment that they use for the semi-permanent make. I don't know if it's
yeah,
different equipment, but
some of it is
what
different. Yeah,
whatever it is, it's not. It's not healing. It's not good.
no, it's not staying at
Mm,
all. I mean, some of it
no.
looks all right when it's fresh, but once it's healed, it's just out straight away. So it is
Yeah.
kind of making me think that they are using the semi-permanent makeup ink.
I yeah, it suggests. Yeah, it suggests. I've not seen one healed
Yeah.
well at all.
Maybe they're advertising it as um, semi-permanent tattoos. So they're like, "Oh, you can get a tattoo done, but if you don't like it, don't worry. After a month's time, it'll be gone anyway."
I think maybe that is what they're doing, yeah.
Yeah, try
Although
it before you buy it, kind of thing.
yeah,
They're
like
like,
almost
"If you
like
like it, come back, and we'll use normal proper ink."
yeah, it's almost like advanced henna.
Yeah, literally, yeah. But it may leave a scar.
Well, it may be permanent,
So,
it may not be.
so last year you worked Lincoln Tattoo Con.
It did, yes.
It was its first one. Obviously, this year it's its second one. So last year you won an award at the show. Can you just
Yes.
tell everyone what that award was for, category
So
wise?
I won best black work on the Sunday.
That work, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a stunning piece, mate. It was well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, for everyone what's watching, can you just tell everyone what your social medias are, so they can just have a look at your work, and
Yeah.
perhaps even book in with you um, at the studio and also at the convention this year.
I'm at the convention too. Yeah.
Yeah,
So my socials are Phoebe Rose Tattoos. And that's across Instagram. I'm on Facebook and I'm also on TikTok as well. I don't post as much on there, but I'm
awesome,
on there too. Yeah.
cool. So for people what's coming to this year's tattoo convention, will you be doing walk-ups or will you be taking bookings beforehand for it? Or
So I will be doing walk-ups. I think I'll be offering like a pre-bookable thing as well if people want to contact me beforehand and like absolutely secure a slot. But I'm not going to have myself fully booked for the days that I want to do walk-ups because obviously I want that ability for people to come and just get it done there on the spot.
yeah, definitely, mate.
Yeah.
If for new tattooists, what's in the industry coming into it,
Mm,
what's possibly been tattooing under 2-3 years, and it's possibly perhaps this year they may be coming to Lincoln Tattoo Con. I don't know, and it may be the first tattoo convention. What tips
maybe.
would you have for them in making sure they put out a solid tattoo and potentially it be an award-winning tattoo?
I guess for a solid toe, you need originality as much as you can. That's hard now, but originality, a good flow, a good contrast, and just I guess a good sitter and a good placement. It's about that. Just about.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think
Yeah.
originality is a big one, isn't it? Um,
Yeah.
I mean, a tattoo could be absolutely amazing, but if it's not positioned right on the body,
Yeah, and this is what I mean about placement as well, is that
Yeah,
that needs to also be lab on, really. Um,
yeah,
Even like things like weird placements, they'll work.
yeah.
They
It's
will
it's,
work.
it's like someone got a portrait on their arm joint where their elbow is,
Yeah,
and every
literally.
time they bent the arm, the portrait turns into bloody Pac-Man. The
Yeah,
face just implodes on itself.
yeah, literally. That'd be good. I think that would win.
Yeah, that'd be quite original, really, wouldn't it?
Don't you
This
think?
portrait morphs into Pac-Man.
Yeah, no. That's magic.
So, what designs will you be bringing to the tattoo convention this year? What can people? I know we've already mentioned about style, what you do, and whatever
Sure,
else.
yeah.
But what can people expect this year if they come to the show and they want to get tattooed by you?
Um, expect a lot of different stuff. Like I said, I like to do the black and grey stipple work and illustrative, but then I also like to do color work, and I love to do paint work as well. Like before I was a tattoo artist, I was quite a painter. And so I like to kind of incorporate things like paint splashes and stuff like that into my work as well. So
Yeah,
even just simple stuff like just like color paint splashes, like minimal, they'll be at a smaller charge. And it's just cool that I'll do stuff like that.
yeah,
Um, and I'll do, like I said before, I love like nature and stuff like that. So I expect a lot of little animals, little woodland stuff, and vines and leaves and flowers and bugs and stuff like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Awesome.
And it will all be
That's
different
all good.
sizes. So it'll be like, yeah, really small to relatively big.
And in terms of price, what price can people expect on that?
So my minimum is usually 60. So it'll be anywhere between 60 to 150, 200. It depends. I don't like to take on like, unless I'm going to compete, I don't like to take on like really big bits for convention, especially with walk-ups, because otherwise you spend so long doing that one piece and then you're kind of prohibited with what else you take on. So it's kind of like the smaller bits. Every tattooist hates it, but smaller to medium sized
Yeah.
is what you're to expect. Yeah.
So for anyone that can't make the convention this year, for all the people what maybe watching the podcast but won't quite be coming to the convention or don't live close by to Sleaford, will you be working any other conventions this year, or will you be guest spotting at any other studios?
Yeah, I will be working a few more conventions. And guest spots as well. I'm in talks at the moment with some studios about guest spots.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a case of checking my Instagram and seeing where I'm going to be, because I'm going to be
Yeah,
traveling all over. And that's not just going to be this year, it's going to be next year and subsequently. So
it's
yeah,
amazing,
I'll
that.
always be traveling. I'll always be going around.
Great. Well, there you go,
Hmm.
guys. If you want to get booked in with Phoebe for the tattoo convention, or obviously just in general if she's not at the convention, then obviously as previous in the video, go to all the socials that she mentioned. I'll pop up a little picture, so you can just see her profiles on the video. But yeah, that's it, mate. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast,
No, thank you for having me.
and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Right, see you later, mate. Thank you.
See you later. Have a good evening.